Death be not proud.
Well, all right, you ignorant pigs, put down your crack pipes and your beer bongs. It's time for another Angry Tabletop Nerd Show. On today's show, we have Slimy Limey Games Workshop employees talking shit. We have the repercussions of Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm just going to ask the question, is Western civilization in trouble? Oh, and I also forgot, people. We also have a showcase. There is a time and place for political hot takes within the hobby. That's usually between you and a friend when you're playing a game. If somebody else wants to chime in, you should probably tell that person to shut up because they're probably already offended if you're in a public setting. This weekend, I would have been very happy to just sit around and do bleep all. Just paint the remainder of my 2 War Master models and then maybe move on to a couple of other projects. But I decided to come down here and achieve anyway, if you can call it achieving. So we have some political hot takes from Slimy Limey Workers of Games Workshop. And one of them, by the name of Mike Brent, had this to say. The right is actively doing things that will cause more death in various parts of the world, canceling USAID, vaccine mandates, access to healthcare. This is tantamount to murder, and I don't like murder. So it's hypocrisy to celebrate the things we say we don't like. His passing may make the world a better place. The nature of his passing assuredly doesn't. Now, Mike Brandt, I don't know how to say that name, but that was Mike Brandt at Games Workshop. And in 2016, I remember telling people, I made a video, SJWs Invade Games Workshop. Don't look for it because it's not there, because I figured videos that are basically almost 10 years old at this point, are no longer relevant. But I should have kept a couple of them on there. And all I have to say to that is...
You, I was right, fuck 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 you, fuck you, I was right, 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 fuck you.
Shut your bitch ass up! The fuck you know about some French Montana, you old son of a bitch? Then you try to fuck my niece to that old throwback 90s slow jam shit? Nigga, I'll kill your ass. Fuck you in them red turtles, nigga.
Well, Mike, I'd hate to have to be the bearer of bad news, but number one, the U.S. is under no obligation to send any kind of foreign aid out to any frickin' country, whether that's the Eurotrash countries, Israel, Gaza. I am so sick of any kind of foreign aid. If it were up to me tomorrow, if I were president tomorrow, Trump already did try to cut off foreign aid. And you had a bunch of liberal judges say, oh, no, the money's already been allocated. That's illegal. You just have to piss your money away. All right, I would cut that shit off cold turkey with a machete. End of story. And I'd use the United States Marines to do it. They'd be visiting that judge and we'd throw him in jail for being a political dissident. End of story. Okay, number 2, healthcare is not a human right. If some African dude dies of AIDS, that sounds like an African problem. Bull period. Stop. All right. Number 3, if you want to mock the death of Charlie Kirk, do it in private. Okay? Some things you just need to keep to yourself. Like being a vegan. Nobody cares if you're a vegan, but they get really annoyed having to hear about whether or not you're a vegan. All right? It's like, oh, you know that pork can kill you? Motherfucker, pork is not going to kill me unless they figure a way to shoot it out of a motherfucking gun. But I might kill you if you keep fucking with me. Step away from my ham sandwich this in. The death of a father of 2. Okay, isn't a joking matter, you slimy, limey twat. End of story. This is why Jimmy Kimmel got fired, and I compare this assassination to the death of Dr. Martin Luther King. I am going to say, historically, canonically, that a civil rights activist was murdered September 2025 in Utah. And let me repeat that again. A civil rights advocate was murdered 2025 in Utah. There you go. Anyway, we get to Tom Mendelson, who celebrated the September 11th attacks on the Twin Towers, not to mention the death of Charlie Kirk, and he had this to say: "I don't give a single shit. He's a fascist cunt carrying enormous amounts of water for a side that has no compunctions, committing structural and systemic political violence against the working class people of Gaza." All right, couple rebuttals to that. Number one, political violence in this country has always come from the left, ever since the 2000s. End of story. It's always come from the left. When Fentanyl Floyd got himself Minecrafted, you had a bunch of feral Africans and leftists basically riot, burn down Wendy's, and loot stores. All right, this was very reminiscent of the Watts riots in 1965, where you have a certain group within the United States of a melanin persuasion that have no compunctions about burning their cities down. And, you know, we always have to change the language. It's not anger, it's rage. Let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. I hate it when the left just changes the definition of words to mean one thing. They do this in economics all the time. They do it in economics all the time. So we're not really in a recession because X and Y have happened, even though we've been in a recession since 2022. Okay? They dress it up and they put a new color of lipstick on a pig. Number two, the assassin was a tranny-loving gay dude. I didn't know if you knew this. Tranny-loving gay dudes tend to vote for Kamala Harris. Guys who want to put on dresses and pretend to be Corporal Klinger tend to vote for Kamala Harris. Okay? This guy didn't vote for Trump. He could have been registered as a Republican, but I bet you he didn't vote. Why would you vote against your own self-political interest? If Trump is such an ogre and wishes death upon all gay people, why would you vote for him ever? I mean, that's how they paint him in the media. That's the rhetoric towards Republicans, is that they're all a bunch of tranny-hating ogres that want to grind you into dust and eat and turn the dust of your bones into a gruel and eat that. All right, number three, screw the people of Gaza. Okay, end of story. What kind of idiot people would like to live in a Jewish-controlled apartheid system? They should have fucked off out of that region 80 years ago after World War II in 1948 when we decided to give the Zionists their own fucking country. They could have fucked off. A lot of people were displaced back then. They could have gone anywhere into the desert. Plus, you know, I believe the Jews bought that certain portion of land from the Turkish government before World War I. Don't quote me on that. But only a group of retards would have stayed there after that. After the United States and England decided to go in and form that nation, they should have just off royally. End of story. Don't care. Don't care. We would have less problems now if Iran would just nuke them. You know, like in that video, like in that game on RoboCop. Nuke them. Hit them before they hit you. From Presman Brothers. All right. Then you come to Mike Brooks, and, you know, he had this to say: this is the line that Dems need to push. It can't be simply political violence is bad. It must be political violence bad, and Trump and his ilk are responsible for creating the conditions ripe for political violence. Again, we're going to go to the recent riots in LA after Trump took office. What was that? It was a bunch of adult Democrats and feral Africans rioting, hurling rocks at cops, saying, mostly migrants. Migrants participated in that. We'll say feral migrants from South America, rioting and saying, you know, you can't deport us, blah, blah, blah. Donald Trump is an ogre. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. He's a Nazi. We've heard it again and again and again. Meanwhile, there's the contrast to this. Donald Trump deploys the National Guard in Washington, D.C., and somehow the murder rate just plummets. It goes away. It becomes non-existent when they see a show of force. Now, Donald Trump is preparing a strike team, a 700-man strike team in Alabama to deal with the left's bullshit. Because in between here and now, at some point, some white cop is going to have to do his job, and he's going to have to Minecraft somebody that is the next up-and-coming fentanyl Floyd. And then, of course, the usual suspects are going to riot, and we're going to have to get out ahead of that. What city is going to get that strike force? We don't know yet, but they're planning this move in advance. They're planning the right social media outrage mob to come out and be like, "Oh, he didn't do nothing. That's just Jerome McStabby Pants. Stabbing people is what Jerome does. We didn't know you people were so fragile. Why'd you have to shoot Jerome McStabby Pants?" And they're going to rally around Jerome McStabby Pants, the piece of shit, because that's what they do. And then you're a Nazi if you're against Jerome McStabby Pants and the burning of Wendy's. We've seen this before. I mean, it goes back to Ferguson. It goes back every decade. We have the King riots in the 90s, not Martin Luther King riots, but the King riots in the 90s. So let's kind of go to the next part here, the repercussions of the death of Charlie Kirk. I've already compared it to the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and surprise, surprise, there's your left-wing political violence. Democrats caused the death of Charlie Kirk, okay, because no transsexual or homosexual will ever vote for a Republican because Republicans are literally Hitler. We have drilled that into the population since Obama took office. You look at our comedy, you look at our entertainment, which no longer belongs to us. It is not representative of what America used to make. You look at all of our media has been enthralled with this. You look at the reign of Obama, probably the worst presidency in the history of the United States. I'm going to ask you one straight up question about Barack Obama and whether or not he was a good president. What kind of president brings in a bunch of Somali nationals, hundreds of thousands of them, and then hands them a portion of Michigan? Take all the time in the world you need. An evil person does that. An evil person does that. If anything, did we just quickly forget the incidents of Black Hawk Down when you had a bunch of those Somali animals spitting, pissing, and kicking our naked dead soldiers down the streets? And you're going to sit there and tell me Obama can do no wrong and just bring a bunch of Somali migrants into our goddamn country? Muslims, by the way. Into our goddamn country, give them a piece of Michigan and say that that's a good thing? He did good. He was the best president ever? No, an evil person does this. And that's how you get a politician like Ilhan Omar, a dumb bitch that likes to run her fucking mouth. And if she talked that way in Somalia, they would have slapped her on the face, honor killed her, or sent her back to the kitchen. All right? End of story. So there's your left-wing political violence. Surprise, it was the left. It was a tranny-loving gay dude that killed Charlie Kirk. Was it an inside job? I'm willing to believe that it could have been an inside job. King was undoubtedly an inside job for a number of reasons. He was an inconvenience to the Johnson administration. Okay? And the problem that they had back then, and what Malcolm X alluded to this, that blacks have great political power in this country because of the way they are settled in certain states, cities. End of story. So, this gets in the way of Lyndon B. Johnson Great Society Project, where he says, I'll give them welfare. I will make the black community welfare dependent, and I will have those black people voting Democrat for at least 200 years. Now, he used some other flowery language along the lines of, I'll have those Nigers voting Democrat for 200 years. But King understood this, that if they vote for the party of Lincoln, the Democrat Party would have no longer existed back in the 60s. So you had to kill the nuclear family. Number two, you can't have white Americans getting married, going to church, and forming nuclear families. The Democrats, since the 80s, have spent tens, if not hundreds, maybe even trillions of dollars attacking the nuclear family to get white women married to the government. End of story. You do not want them going to church and forming nuclear families because they might change their political views to their husbands, or they might not vote at all. All right? The Democrats, I am absolutely convinced, want Americans to be they want four things. They want you fat, stupid, asleep, and isolated. Not awake, informed, healthy, in groups that can form voter blocks. And they've done the breaking up of American into little itty bitty micro groups has been very successful, very lucrative over the years. Okay? They do not want you awake and informed. That is not tantamount to what the owner class and the people who run BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard would want. They maybe Alex Jones is onto something there when he says they want you to live in a 200 square foot coffin apartment and absolutely own nothing. And if you become a political inconvenience, they're going to turn you into Soylent Green, basically. And you will eat the bugs and live in the pod. I will say this. The death of Charlie Kirk will undoubtedly, if the Republicans are smart, and they're not known for being smart, you got to think of it like professional wrestling when a wrestler gets his arm twisted. If the Republicans twist the arm of the Democrats about this issue, the death of Charlie Kirk, and they're in the center of the ring, and they've got that arm twist on them, this will undoubtedly hurt the Democrats in the 2026 midterms if you push the issue. Okay? Finally, is Western civilization in trouble? And I like to think that it is. Western civilization in general, mostly in Europe, is in trouble. Recently, there was a giant, sizable flag protest in honor of Tommy Robinson. And I guess he had some kind of rally there. You had a bunch of limeys going, Bohum and bollocks, cry God for Harry, England, and St. George. This is our country. Bohum and bollocks. And I'm pretty sure at the end of this rally with Tommy Robinson, the British people politely cleaned up after themselves and went home.
What's up? Money!
That's not the kind of movement you people need. You need a second coming of Oliver Cromwell. To quote Cromwell, I believe that you are not truly representative of the people. You have a government that is not truly representative of the people. When has your parliament gone to the people, which they claim to represent, and done something for the English citizen? I'm going to say they haven't done shit for you in 50, 60 years. They haven't done shit for you in 50 or 60 years. I think about Cromwell and everything he did. He signed the death warrant of Charles I. I think he was the second or third to sign that death warrant. He fought the Battle of Worcester, kicked out Charles II, and I believe was given the title Lord High Protector of England. You don't have that. You guys aren't there yet. You guys haven't experienced enough inflation, enough pain, enough of bending over backwards to tongue the buttholes of Africans and Pakistanis in your country to get pissed off at Keir Starmer and the rest of the joke you call a parliament. Meanwhile, in Tibet, what did they do? Oh, they woke up, overthrew their entire government with ease. And that's really all you need is a giant mob of British citizens to burn shit down, not pick up their trash and go home respectfully after they're done going, please, sir, oh, please, sir, may we have some liberty for ourselves. And you're holding it's like a horrible episode of Oliver Twist. They put in a new government and things might be getting better in Tibet. Meanwhile, here in America, I believe that we do not have a government that is truly representative of the will of the people. The Democrats seem to be more concerned with migrant rights and criminal rights than the working class of America. And the Republicans, well, they can't wait to bend over backwards on bare palms and feet walk down the die-hard hallway of broken glass to wipe the asses of Jews in Israel with our tax dollars. BDS laws are proof of that. They're everywhere. I mean, even some of my own congressmen have gotten on a plane to put on the little yarmulke and kiss the cuck wall in Israel. And that's literally who the government is representing. And if BlackRock needs something, they just have to knock on the door and they'll get it. When have I ever gotten something? Have my taxes been reduced since Trump has been in office? No. Would I vote for him again? Yes, because I didn't want another 20 million Africans or migrants flooding into my country, raising the cost of housing further, making the problem worse. And we can't afford to be stupid in this country anymore, or in the West. It's like every normie conformie operates at the speed of Slowpoke Rodriguez, the best amigo to Speedy Gonzalez, and they wake up one day and go, oh no, no siento. If you raise the population of the country by 15%, that explodes the cost of housing. You know, and or I could dumb it down even more, like the people on 600-pound life. This is every just people waking up, being Slowpoke Rodriguez going, oh, dough. Oh, I didn't know that eating pizza and taqueritos was going to kill me. But I couldn't stop eating the pizza and taqueritos because nobody would stand up to me. And then the doctor now came in and he says, hello, I'd hate to have to say it, you're dying. Oh, and that was just like a wake-up call to me. I just didn't know that eating pizza would kill me, but now pizza is killing me. We can't afford to be that stupid anymore. And only in America or in the first and second world do people get that fat and they wake up and they're like, oh shit, I almost had a heart attack. No, we've been bringing people into this country, and you have hardworking Americans like me that are trying to plug the holes that these migrants are drilling in to the boat. You got a boat and we're trying to keep it afloat here, and then you got Democrats, adult Democrat children drilling holes in the boat. Robber, I want free shit. I shouldn't have to work for a living. And then you got people like me trying to plug the holes. Well, I'm done plugging the holes for the most part. There will come a time in this country where there is some kind of Minecrafting at the top congressional level, okay? And not even the FBI is going to know who done it. Because number one, there isn't going to be a convenient social media trail to follow. You're not going to conveniently get someone 48 hours to take the fall for this. They're not going to know who done it. All right? There's not going to be a manifesto. There's not going to be any DNA and fingerprints. You're going to have some kind of hunting rifle that's just left out there in a field. This guy's going to make his getaway, and that guy's name will be the Killdozer dude. And be like, oh, that's what the right-wing violence looks like. It'll be the Killdozer guy. Anyway, I've had enough of this topic. It's just things go from bad to worse. And, I've just been trying to bury myself in this little side project to get it finished. I have one Pegasus I got to get finished, and I guess we could go over to a showcase or something like that to lighten the mood and end the video there. So I'm on my extreme left here. Things don't seem to be getting any better these days. I mean, I just feel lucky that I have a basement of wonders to come down and retreat to. It seems like, I am absolutely convinced that the last administration just did way too much damage. And, this is just how I relax now. And the thing that I like now is this War Master force that's coming together here. And I think it's coming together very sharply. I want to get a few more of these ones, the green and the blue ones here, as you can see. They're going to be the errant knights, but there are no errant knights. They're just knights in general. Then you have some of these really colorful red and blue stands and everything like that. And you got a hero over here. The beginning, I only have 5 Pegasus Knights. There's like a 1,000 point bundle that I was given by a friend, and I shout out to him right now.
Let's see here. You got these knights. You got a couple heroes. We'll bring them in. We'll bring this guy into the foreground. I really like this one. This is a badass model, right here. Can we get it to focus? It looks like it's focused. You know, this is the problem. You need to be able to fill up a table with this 10mm stuff, and it's just like, how do you get so many of these things? They're very tedious to paint. Really colorful there. The red and blue Pegasus hero. Got a hero on horse. Battle standard bearer hero. Yeah, fun times. But we'll go over here to the Coupe de Resistance. We got some extra orcs over there. These are the loose models right here. Got your loose models. Could have sworn I had one more of those running around somewhere, but it's not important. The stabbers, but yeah, I was thinking an orc army for Old World. It's really too bad they nerfed Frenzy. If they didn't nerf Frenzy, I think that this might be viable, but you got a big old unit of biggins here. These ones have been done forever. These are the biggins. They're on the gray. Sharp contrast to the ones who aren't biggins on the brown ones. Got a unit of trolls. I'm sure you've seen those in battle reports. And then we have a huge old unit of 30 savage orc boys with a shaman. Now, I think that you're going to want... Now, I haven't figured out how I would run this army in a tournament. I think you might want the shamans to run the whole show, and you might not want to bother with a lord level character. I think it's just... I did get a couple of these guys. I'm lucky I got this guy. This guy's awesome. This one with a great weapon. Comes from Warhammer Underworlds or whatever it is. Really, I wanted to get the one with the bow. That would have been a cool hero to have. The one with the bow would be awesome. But I really like this model. This is a cool model right here. It's one with this giant bone axe. I'm waiting for Games Workshop, to come out with the Savages again. But so far they haven't, and it doesn't really matter if they... if they're going to be an SJW dumping ground company, I don't really want their products at all. I'll just 3D print what I need and move on. There you go. And you can get some pretty true to life predators, land raiders, whatever you need from 3D printing, and it's just like, okay, Games Workshop, if you're going to have employees like that, you really need to think about the people who actually have the money to buy the things first and foremost. Let me just tell you, they're not trannies. Trannies don't have any money. There you go. This guy, he's been around a while. This is a conversion I made way back in the day to be a big boss with a great weapon, basically. There's not much difference in size between any of the orcs. That's one thing I hate. I can show you composite boss. We'll get him up on screen and everything. But this is roughly about 2,000 points the way it's laid out here. And I don't know if bringing the numbers, if you want numbers or heroes. Some part of me tells me that you probably want 2 great weapon heroes in every single unit. But then that gets expensive. These savages themselves are way too expensive. I think what they need for Old World is a supplement that brings an all savage force together and gives them some really good buffs, like regular frenzy, like feral attack or something like that. Got some plans for trolls. I haven't really rambled about the hobby in a long time. My plans are I'm gonna get some of the newer ones, and I might sell some of my older ones. I'm looking to do a full repaint of boys, but with that attitude, I don't think I want to buy those models anymore. So there's that. I could just 3D print better looking boys or something like that. I don't know. Just kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth. I talked about this shit in 2016. I talked about this shit in 2020. And now here I am 5 years later talking about the same shit again. But, that's what I've been up to. These guys have been done forever over here. This portion over here, right here, newest of the War Master collection. I would like to get some War Master games in. I hate painting this scale. It sucks. 10mm sucks. I wish If I could go back in time, I'd ask for 15 millimeter. I would ask for 15. I think I can cope with 15, but 10 or 11 is just, it's rough. Anyway, that's it for the showcase portion. Got a lot of savages done. Of course, you already knew I had some savages, but I got more savages done, and that was fun. I enjoy painting savages. This guy's pretty new. I think I used him in my what do you call it? My orc, what is that? Nomads Force for a tournament that I painted him specifically for that. But now I actually have more boar boys over there, and there's another group of them way back in the closet over there. But I'm slowly going through cleaning out the closet of wonder, boxing shit up because I've got too much stuff. But let's go back up for a summation.
I'll put out the apology right now for the grim, dark subject matter of today's show. Yeah. But to sit there and celebrate the death of a father of two very young little girls, it's not right no matter how you slice it. And it's not right if somebody else gets their head blown off, from complete and total unawares, and then, the other side celebrates it. That Games Workshop has a lot of problems, and when you sell your ass to BlackRock, or you're going to be at the center of most of those social, geopolitical climates. It's going to be funny to see what happens when Games Workshop can't meet its 3% growth marker per year and has to retract on their share price and then ends up getting sued by BlackRock. I know McDonald's is close to that, but they'll probably be able to keep their head above water because McDonald's has always been McDonald's. It'll be around forever. Who knows about Games Workshop? Anyway, that's our show today. Hope you enjoyed the showcase. Hope you enjoyed the subject matter. Don't forget to do the whole YouTube thing. The algorithmic suppression on YouTube works thusly. For every 8 likes I get to keep 1 of those likes. For every like that is tied to a comment, I immediately get the like. Sometimes I have to respond to the comments, which I always do, but I immediately get to keep the like. Don't forget to share the video if you like the video, and if you're following me on Rumble, thank you for following me on Alt Tech. Anyway, if you want to DM me with questions and hit me from left field with something I might have failed to talk about, Instagram DMs are the best way to get in touch with me. Anyway, until I see you again, keep painting, keep playing. Don't forget to get yourself some orcs or play some Conquest, and then stay metal, my friends.
Even you, puppy dog. Hey, you need to grow a sack!